AGM, and welcome to our viewers who are joining us online in Zoom land. First of all, I'd like to do an acknowledgement of the country. We would like to pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. We thank the custodians of the land on which we meet today, and we are extremely grateful for the Indigenous culture. I'd just like to run through some apologies. Peter Ambrino, Sally Helm, Helen Cheng, Celia Wang, Raven McInnes, Michael Main, Meredith Norton, Elizabeth Rooney, Darren Jenkins, Lynn Ferguson, Bruce Francis, Matthew Dyke and Rhonda Walker. As you may have noticed, a few of us are wearing these sunflower lanyards around the place. The sunflower is an internationally recognised symbol and organisation that represents hidden disabilities. So a lot of places like train stations, airports and various other organisations recognise the symbol, and people, you can ask people if they can help you, and they're more conducive to helping you. You can ask for people to be kind, to listen closely, have more patience and not judge you, and just it signifies that you might be shown more respect. So we at Brain Injury Matters are giving these away we at Brain Injury Matters are giving these away to people who have an ABI, because as you all know, we are often overlooked as having a disability, but of course we do. Anyway, that's enough from me, and now I would like to hand over, before I go on, I'll just go through a few rules. Please feel free to leave the room and use the toilets, which there's a disabled toilet a few metres down on the right of the corridor. Otherwise, they're right down the end of the corridor and left, I believe. There will be lunch provided after we've heard from our guest speaker and the new executive committee members have been appointed. And
there's lollies down the back.
Very important. There's lollies down the back, but don't get up and get them now, please. I don't want a mad rush. Thanks for that, Brent.
No way, mate.
That's all. So, first of all, I keep on saying first, well, it must not be first because it's about the third time I've said it. I would like to confirm the minutes of the previous AGM. Can I have a person to move that motion? Brent, the chairman is moving the motion. Can I have a seconder, please? And Adrian, a member of our committee of management, is also is seconding it. So I hereby move that the motion is carried. I forgot to introduce myself. For those who don't know me, I recognise most of the faces. Sorry if you've never met me before. My name is Virginia, also known as Nia Giddings. I'm the Secretary of Brain Injury Matters, and I'm pleased to welcome you to the 14th the annual general meeting on the 14th of November here at Ross House. And now I'd like to throw it over to Brent Alford for our chairperson's report for 2023. Thank you.
Well done. I'll let you know when to clap. Alright, let me start off with the question. What is more important, the journey or the destination? Neither. It's about the company that matters. Now, as we go in a great year at Brand New Matters, before I read my GC report, can I invite the great person, one of BIM's finest poets, and so when I mention his name every Monday morning at the coffee morning, it brings a smile to my face. So Mr. Scotty Jefferies, can you come up in front? You can clap him.
On your spot.
Do you know him wrong off by heart or never the words?
I've got it here.
You know the words are there.
I got it there. Oh, thank you, Brent, and good morning, everyone. Today, my name is Scott Jefferies. I'd like to read my poem. It's called A Mission Necessary. In the heart of our community, there's a force that quietly shines for those with brain injuries in the face of challenging times. They lift us up, those in need, in a world that's not always fair, challenging those with brain injuries to come along and share. There are online coffee mornings on Zoom with jokes and fun and Q&A. At 11 a.m, relax and enjoy every Monday and Wednesday. And weekday activities in peer support groups, barbecues and bowling, movies and snacks, and steaming hot coffee right near you. As well, the BIM online chat groups, the BIM website, and the new ABI Wise app with tools and tips open to all. And not to forget all the free classes and forums and webinars run out of Ross House by ABI advocates. Thank you to Brain Injury Matters. Thank you to President Brent and the organisation. You help us bear the burdens that we alone cannot carry. Your work is more than a job, it is a mission necessary. Thank you.
Now for my GC report. Alright, so this year, peer support groups. Life experience is the heart of what BIM does. Is the reason behind the 10 support groups that we have and we run and support. 8 of these groups, as I read out each area, you can clap your own group. The northern suburbs, anyone from northern suburbs? Yeah. What about western suburbs? No? That's alright. Eastern suburbs, Peter Lester's from western. I want to hear your voice, mate. Thank you. Alright, eastern suburbs. Thank you. Southern suburbs. Gisborne.
Yeah.
Aubrey, Penonga.
Oh, that's not
Bendigo.
Woohoo!
That's great. The women's group.
Woo!
And the coffee morning.
Woo!
Yeah, give it a yes. Alright. And Brainwave. Yeah! The best group, obviously, you don't know that, it's alright. Okay. Importantly, during 2023, 3 of these groups were facilitated by people within ABI who used to be members of their group. I want to acknowledge Nick, Peter, Lester, Andrew, and Rhino. There are 2 more groups soon to be facilitated by former group members. This is what self-advocacy is about, plus making our groups sustainable. I hate reading from this, I'd rather just know it by heart. Laugh at everyone, but it's all good. Positive impacted groups have had a number of people attending shows that we are undertaking exciting research with the University of Melbourne. Now, Lauren Costa, you can go out live.
Hello.
So, Melbourne University To objectively understand the impact, around 30 in-depth interviews will be a rich source of information. The whole research project is a great example of real co-design. Building skills and confidence and providing information. BIM received funding from the Transport Accident Commission to develop 3 workshops on relationships. Members of BIM have told us relationships and their ABI can be tricky. In partnership with Monash University, we co-designed workshops on family, friends and intimate relationships. These workshops will be piloted with 5 peer group members, evaluated and delivered annually. Again, people with ABI, I'm struggling with reading, apologies. With ABI are facilitating these workshops. We continue to update our website, ABI's app and Facebook page. Thanks Colin, Yannick, I think, as we source of information. We'd like to thank Colin and Yannick. Give them a round of applause. And of course the monthly newsletter. Thanks Adrian, Peter and Cheeky, Fiona and Sally. Give them a round of applause. Our membership. Last year I reported that we were over 300 members. We're now close to 400 members of time writing this, and online also continues to grow ever strongly. Community awareness and training. We have finalised our ABI, a lived experience perspective, training for service providers. As I mentioned, last year is a unique and important perspective to improve the understanding of carers and workers. We will run this training 3 to 4 times a year, building on 2 workshops last year. A lot of information sessions delivered to individual BIM members, to a range of groups in the community. We have hoped to improve the awareness of ABI and its impacts. Strategy. The BIM annual needs survey was conducted in 2023 February. This is the 4th time we've asked people with brain injury their needs and how we can improve, and then in previous 3 remaining years, number 1 issue we have finalised in the 23-2026 strategic plan in the early 20th period. That doesn't make sense. Sorry. Okay, committee of management and staff. A big thank you to the committee of management, Cole, Nia, Roger, Carol, Cheeky, Calvin. Cheeky is an aunt as well, it's just my nickname for her. Is that right, Cheeky? And thank you, Jill, for supporting it. Alright. You don't have to clap it yet, it's alright. I said Adrian, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah, I said Adrian. It's so good. We don't have to clap it as well, thank Calvin for mentioning that, thank you. And my awesome staff, Fiona, Yannick, I call him boy, Peter, Poppy, and Fraser. We call Fraser Funky Financials, Fraser.
Sally.
Sally's not here today, but I mentioned Sally, one of the greatest support workers ever. And Fiona obviously knows that, she yelled out. So thank you, Sally. I also have to mention Poppy. Poppy is a co-manager with Peter, and also is in the lived experience because she is one of us. She's having a brain injury as well, so welcome, Poppy. I need to thank Mr. Dr. Kevin Parker. He rolled up yesterday, and great you came today, so you're on the right day, good work, mate. I did have to mention it because that's great. If you come back again the next day, I wouldn't have come back. No, don't worry about it, we'll have them so we understand. Can I pay acknowledgement to our past support coordinator, Lauren? who made huge contributions to BIM over the past few years. So many thanks, Laura. Thank you very much. And the doctor's arrived, so we can stop talking. Beautiful. Thanks for coming, Rog. And Nia, you may come up. You don't have to give me a round of applause, it's alright.
Thank you for that scintillating talk, Mr. President. I'll just find where we're up to. Now I would like to throw it over to Roger Astell, our wonderful treasurer, who I'm going to ask to come up to the microphone and share his financial insight with you all. Thank you very much, Roger. My knees are knocking. I'm anticipating it so wonderfully. But before he gets here, I've just got a wee joke to share with you. What is the scariest plant? Bamboo! Nice and clean. Thanks, Roger.
Thanks for coming. It took me 2 hours getting today from Sunbury. I couldn't get a car park or trying to throw around. I've got what I'm presenting. Right, this. We're on presenting later. On full screen. No. That's where you start. What? Start. And then, full screen.
Don't get on there before one day. Yeah.
Where is it? Home animations. Slideshow.
It's on the other. Coming on to screen.
You're right, boy.
Yay! Thank you. Look at all these animations, all for nothing. It's good. But thanks for having me. Yep. Here you go. So much treasures report for June, in June for last year, for AGM and for today. Yeah. So next one. Yeah. So, I'm Roger Astell. I'm Treasurer of Brain Injury Matters. I think I've been here for 4 years. I don't know whether it's going to be my last year for this year, but we'll see. We'll see. It's a hard job, but I've got good staff. So, they do all the work for me. I'm just the figurehead. For those who don't know me, this is my story. Now, actually, I've got to tell you this. I'm naked on here, so don't be offended, please, if you walk out and understand. My qualifications experience. An MBA, got a GDM and GSCM, a DQR, an ABI. So I'm 14 years old, and I was executive coach for Australian Super, and senior manager in ANZ, and national manager for funds management. So I managed 1,000 staff and 14 funds.
Are you rich?
Pardon?
Are you rich?
Am I rich? I'm not going to my wife, boss, or work. So, enjoyment after work, this is my story. So, in the car, saw the car, and the bike, I love the bike. It's great. So I used to go out on weekends and think about what I was going to do the following week, what I was going to achieve. That's one. And one day I got invited up for a ride. And I was going on this road, and obviously you can see this kangaroo just jumped out in front of us. And I put on the brakes. I come off the bike and onto the road. I was doing about 110. And just go through this slide, sir. Yeah. But what my mate said to me was, they don't think it was a kangaroo because down the end of this road was a police car sitting there. There was no one in it, apparently, but it was a police car. And so what they think I did was react and put the brakes on so I wouldn't lose my licence. Sounds right. But for me, in my brain, I could smell a kangaroo. And I can still picture it. So, but my psychics, psychologists, etc., say sometimes the brain implants memories what you like to have happened, and you believe them. So, actually, quite my mates that look, it's probably something I would have done. Would have slammed on the brakes. Because I wouldn't want to lose my license.
Kangaroo is a good story.
Anyway, my life was at tree, and another guy come around the corner and saw me, and anyway, ended up being lifted to Alfred, and I was next one, which is very soon. So I was sent home for 6 weeks, and had post-traumatic amnesia for another 6 weeks, and I said, sorry, that's not my finest. And my brother took that, and I told him off for doing it, but I'm glad he did now because it teaches me how lucky I am to be here. So, so now I'm an ABI. So now on to why I'm here. Yes, that's right. So my treasury report is more exciting. Right, okay. So all I present, what a treasurer's role involves. Outline last financial year. P&L, profit and loss statement, and revenue and expenses. Focus on our balance sheet, which details our liabilities and assets, and our equity, and breach. So how many members we actually touch. And forecast statement. What we're going to expect in the next 7 months, the end of June next year. A couple of good things are going to. Okay. So what's the treasurer's role involved? Oversee the financial administration, review and review procedures and financial reporting for the committee of management. Advise committee of management financial strategies, meaning our mission and vision. So are we getting what we need? Getting our records audited, which has actually been a phrase that's got to where the accolade for that. Because without getting our financials audited, we wouldn't get funding. We would be like other organisations, it's hard to get funding, but we've been lucky. Ensuring all our paid staff are paid appropriately and we're within the laws, so it's all good. Right. So our financials audited by columns of code. And the audit stated, they're assuming that we meet the requirements of the Act. So it's all good for another year running. And I might remember it. So we've got 6 employees. So we 6 employees at the start of the financial year and 6 at the end of the financial year. We have successful securing funding from TAC, which Brent also said, so it's 49,860. 170 people attend these support groups, both in Melbourne and regional Victoria, on a weekly and monthly basis. And this was the big winner. This keeps us alive, this keeps us doing what we're doing. So 532,000. It's not bad for a little organisation, that serves people like me and like us. A balance sheet, you can see all that detail there. Click. So end of June, we had 479,000 in the bank. Not bad. And end of November, how much have we got today? Framework.
300 and I put it on an email earlier, I can't remember.
Sorry, I've got.
I did send it to you. I can't remember now.
That's right.
Yeah, the exact figure.
But I'll tell everyone.
We'll find out after.
Thank you. Sorry, it's one late and I should have done that. So net equity. So net equity is our assets plus our liabilities, what we've actually got in assets. So end of June 22, we had 131,000, and net equity grows down to 154,000. So we're building. That's great. The doors. Balances. So these orange and blue lines, these are all accounts, but these are total balances. So 127 here in July 22, and we've got $480,095 into June 23. But all that money is basically is going to be spent over the coming financial year. So average balance of all accounts was about 85,000. Yeah. So financial snapshot. DHS and Migrant Saru gave us funding, and they increased by 4.8%, and we received $1,260 from JSA, which is 86.4% more than 22. Operating expenses increased by 50,000 from the previous year, and this was one-off costs in terms of setting up new groups. So it's something we don't normally set up so many. Meeting and event hiring increased by $8,000, and travel accommodation meals increased by $4,000. All again from setting up groups. I'm going to click on. Can you go back? Yeah. One back slide. Blue side. Yep, that's it. So look at this one. Red is what I don't like, but in this case it's actually not bad, because we got funding from the Fed government, which should put it aside, because we actually didn't need those funds yet. But for last year, in terms of our accounting methods, actually we were down, but we weren't. It was actually all okay. This is a sorry state. So red is not good, but red is all our increase in costs. But again, a lot of this is from setting up groups, so it's not unusual. We're spending more money. We've got more funding. We've got a heap of funding. Nearly $500,000 from the feds for funding and setting up groups. So it's all to spend money. Yeah. Right. So cost for every dollar received. So every dollar we receive, here's how much in terms of how much we would spend. So every $1 would be, at the moment it's $1.06. So every $1 we're getting, we're spending 6 cents more. But that's from the funding from last year. But it's more than the previous years. But if we run under $1, that's great. Over $1's not great, but we've got the money there. This is great. So we've got 2 peer support groups with 4 group members moving to fill solo roles. So we all run the group. Growth increases in all segments in terms of our numbers, and we continue to receive positive impacts on our work today. The Astell project, obviously, and that cost of income management. Although it's $1.06, again, that was just from our income being deferred. So this is fabulous. So these are the number of people we've touched through the year. So 3,226 people, which is an increase of 85%. And that's really, it's a great thing on the back for BIM. How many more people were actually helping and touching and getting people together and helping each other. It's a great thing for BIM. Forecast. So we're applying for 3 years more income from for the Astell projects to support our 10 groups and set up 4 new groups. We're seeking new funding opportunities. yeah, we think we'll be receiving additional funding for another 18 months. And the Uni of Melbourne love our work, and you know, we've been heavily involved with it. It's great for that. And our president and our project manager, chief project manager, where are you, Peter? Peter's not here? Oh, Peter. Bill Shorten's office. Do a quick snapshot, mate.
What's that?
You had a meeting with Bill Shorten's office the other day.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Brent was there.
Yeah, go Brent. What did they say? They like us.
They like it, and they're thinking about doing a replay, so you don't have to replay with brands and that.
Yeah. So Peter will tell you, Peter spends a certain amount of months putting the IC proposal together in terms of more funding, and it takes a lot of work. So hopefully that as a result of their meeting, they'll short circuit some of that somewhat. Is that correct, Peter?
Give our fingers crossed. No guarantees.
So no guarantees, but you know, it's, but it was good. It was good coming away with a smile. One more again. And we'll carefully manage our costs. Yep. And we'll continue our financial audit. That's exciting. Yeah, inflation. Who's heard of inflation? So, yeah, and that's part of those costs too, don't it? Because things pay cost more. You know, a whole lot of community centres have put up their rents. And somebody, you know, double, triple. It's because their costs are going up. So that's the information, but thank you.
Roger, quick one, I can give you that.
Please.
Yeah.
How much for it?
Yeah, so
55,000 cost.
yeah, so today's date, within those three bank accounts, we've got 369,000.
369,000.
Okay.
So when I started 4 years ago, I think we had about 90,000.
95, that's good, yeah.
Which I thought was a lot of money then. So, but look, it's good having some funds in the bank because it gives us the ability to do other things, and we actually have to do other things this year and make some bets in terms of spending money before we actually had it, so we could actually get things done. So thank you. And I'd also like to thank Lauren as well. Yeah, Lauren was a brilliant worker for us. She worked very hard. So thanks guys. And thank you to Poppy too. No, Poppy. Thanks Poppy. You stepped up, mate. Thanks for everyone else, but Poppy, good work. Thanks, mate. Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, Roger, for that wonderful report. Thank you all. Next, I would like to welcome Shaun Smith, our guest speaker, who's going to talk to us about concussion and its impact. Welcome, Shaun.
Yeah, well done.
There's a few hard acts to follow.
Easy, mate, easy.
Also worked out Brendan's and a bit of a funny bugger. I gather that. Let me just get this off in the... First of all, I want to thank Peter, Brendan and Nia, I hope I got that right, for inviting me here today. What a wonderful group. You know, you just figured that I knew nothing about this group until about 4 weeks ago when Peter asked me to come along. My saviour, really, I guess, Peter Jess. Does everyone know Peter Jess at all? Yes. Peter Jess used to be a player manager, and still is, but is a lot lesser than that. He doesn't do a lot of players anymore. But he's hated by the AFL, and he's one of the guys you love or hate. And he's a different dude, but he definitely saved my life, and I'm in debt to him forever. So the guy is amazing, and he gets people like Peter on board, and this this wonderful group of people here. So I'm glad I'm here today. So, brain injuries. Looking around, if someone walked in the room, you wouldn't know that anyone had brain injury. And that's the hardest thing with brain injuries is it's not visible. And I guess that's the people look at me and they see a regularly good-looking man. You're supposed to laugh at that. But I all in all look normal. And what's going inside the scon is a little bit mixed up. But you have to learn to deal with it, and it's not going to go away anytime soon. So you have to learn coping skills and methods to deal with it. And I'm looking at Roger. He's still doing the accounting and doing a very good job. I must admit, when I looked at those numbers, my brain just went overlap red and green and blue and all this stuff. So numbers everywhere. Figures aren't really my thing. So how did I get here? I guess when I was a young kid, you had aspirations to come to Melbourne and want to be a big football player and that. And I guess after my career, I'm now a big advocate for a brain injury, and that's probably wasn't on the top of my list as a kid. But life, you can't plan your life. You can plan it, you can plan for things, but you can't predict what's going to happen to you in the future. So I came to Melbourne as a 17-year-old, a young kid from Canberra, and Canberra was about that big back then, still isn't about that big now. And I had the lights in my eyes, and Melbourne's a big city compared to Canberra, and even the roads. I remember driving onto the Eastern Freeway, and I've never seen a 5-lane road in my life. I was like, oh my God, what is this? This is like Hollywood. And it was such an overall thing. But I had my first concussion at the age of 18, which I thought I did. But someone reminded me only a few years ago, one of my good mates from Canberra, that I had 2 in Canberra, which I don't remember. And I was playing senior footy at the age of 15. So it's a tough game.
So you were pretty good.
What's that?
So you were pretty good at 15.
Yeah, I was really good. The older you get, the better you get. There's no video, so I can tell you anything. You have to believe me. The first one I got was in an elimination final in 1987 when I was playing at North Melbourne, and I don't remember the game at all. It was in front of 80,000 people, my first final, my first year of AFL footy or BFL back then, and I have no recollection of the game at all. But the disturbing thing is that I got knocked out just before half time, and the vision there, I only know I played. I knew I was playing, but I knew I was going to play. I don't remember the game. But I've seen vision, I've come off the ground looking like a bit of a thunderbird, and then went back on after half time. And so I've played literally half of footy, and the whole game of footy I don't remember. And my girlfriend at the time, Jodie, she's been in contact in the last 5-6 years and put a few pieces together. And even after the game, she asked me how I played, and I said, I didn't play. I didn't play today. So this is why we're trying to get the AFL to be a lot more serious about concussion, because once again, I looked normal on the day, but what was going inside the spine wasn't real good. So then, 88, I had 4 or 5 concussions, and I think 3 of them were knockouts, and I was still playing. So back then it was pretty brutal. So by the time I was 19, I had 6 or 7 knockout concussions. So it's not a good thing. But once again, you soldier on, you look normal, you act normal. Well, I thought I was acting normal. I'll get that down the track later. But and then I had 6 more at Melbourne. So it's a brutal game, but it still is a brutal game. But there is ways of treating concussions that aren't being adhered to at the moment. We treat knees better than our brains. If someone did their knee, had a reco, and they came back 6 months after the operation. You know, doctor said, yeah, you're fine, and they did their knee in the first 5 seconds. There'd be an absolute uproar, wouldn't it? There'd be law cases and everything, but nowadays you've got the rules of the game now says that you can get knocked out and miss 1 week, which is absolutely criminal. But yeah, that's okay. And obviously the brain operates the knee, so you've got to look at what comes first. The brain operates everything. It's your personality, it's everything, it's your mobility. So yeah, there was another one that I had at Melbourne at Princess Park. Got kicked front on. Still didn't even get a free kick, which is astounding. I only know this one too because I saw it on video, and got carried off on a stretcher and then came back on after half time. So you just think that's just nuts. Plugger got me when it's not one health tip here, don't stand in the hole in front of Tony Lockett. That was always probably not a good health advice. Yeah, I kicked the ball back and it came back pretty quickly, and I was standing in the hole, and yeah, Plugger just put a forearm in the base of the skull and lost feeling in the hands and feet and everything, and I woke up, remember looking at the ball, taking a grab, and the next minute I'm looking at the MCG turf like that, thinking, what happened there? But all my hands and feet went tingling, and I think I missed a week, and then came back, and even when I was playing, my left foot was still tingling and numb. So, but as a youngster, you don't know. You're only going on what the doctor's supposed to know. You know, there was another one, Jimmy Steins actually knocked me out. I was playing on the same team, so obviously he didn't like me very much. He was a great man, Jimmy. But I went to tackle someone, and Jimmy came across to bump him at the same time, and he actually elbowed me in the head, in the side of the head. And then came off on a stretcher, and while I was in the rooms, Jimmy did a good job on me. I'm thinking, I said, my knee's sore. They go, no, you're delirious, you know. And I said, no, my knee is really, really sore. And so I finally looked at it, it was like the size of a basketball. And what Jimmy had done, he actually knocked me out. Bloody stupid Irishman. And he bloody knocked me out, and then he fell across my knee as I went to the ground and ruptured my medial ligament. So Dipper, who was the boundary rider. Remember Dipper as the boundary rider? Yeah. He was so bad, it was actually really entertaining. I liked him to death, you know. You've got to realise that guy had a massive stutter problem as a young kid. So to get on national TV, I applaud him big time. But he was entertaining. He just said it the way it was. But he goes, I'm not sure what's going on with Shaun Smith. He came off on a stretcher with concussion. He's come out on crutches, so I'm not sure how that is working. So yeah. But anyway, that's sort of stuff that I remember, or I've now know about. But the question is, you know, you can look at what's happened, but what's happened, and the outcomes that came of it. I'm a lover, not a fighter. One because I can't fight to start with. I thought I could. You know, a lot of my damage is in the frontal lobe, so it's a lot of behavioural stuff. With a bit in the occipital. I think I said that right. Occipital. Yeah, which is condition. So my vision is not flash. A bit of tinnitus, and a lot of tinnitus actually. So the main issue is in the frontal lobe. So obviously the first thing you go to make yourself feel better is what? Alcohol. Bingo, because it's free. It's not illegal. It can be free sometimes, you know. Depends if you steal it or not. That's illegal. But it's everywhere. You can go and have drinks anywhere, and it's actually quite. I guess it's the Aussie way. Go and have a few froths, and of course you go, yeah, cruising along well. There wasn't a decline; it'd be a cliff face. It'd be one too many, and then something would just go in the brain. And you know, I've been arrested 5 times, which is not my finest moment. I've had to go to court a couple of times because of it. Just off the charts. And that's not me. I'm a really easygoing, loving guy. And yeah, I just said, oh, that's just getting old and getting a bit senile and stuff and that sort of thing. But you know, and just anger is, and I'm not talking once again inclined like that. It was like from zero to nuclear, you know, in a blink of an eye. And once again, I just thought, you know, well, that's just normal. And you know, memory problems, especially my working memory. Someone will say, "You've got to go and do this." Yep, no worries. I get off the phone, and then instantly it's just gone. Unless I'm writing stuff down or telling someone instantly, then they remind me. It's really very hard. And obviously, the tinnitus is just freaking annoying. It's not much fun. But once again, you just learn to deal with that. And it took me years. It really drove me mental, but I finally got over that. Now, I'm not here to say, poor me, poor me. I'm just telling you what's going on, because obviously we all know, we've all experienced different forms of brain injuries in this room, and it's wonderful to see how happy and outward we are and how supporting each other. It's bloody fantastic. And the biggest issue of a brain injury is actually the people around you. My ex-wife, I wasn't the best husband going around at all. And even just every other partner, up until my partner today, is Mel. She's beautiful and she's put up with it a little bit, but it was out of control. Just the anger, not that I got violent, it was just a punch a hole in the wall or something of that nature. I would never ever hit a partner any time. That's not acceptable. But just the anger, it just was out of control, and then something had to give. And you know, obviously you need good people around you, and I had a good mate who wasn't a good person, and he was actually a very narcissistic, very ordinary person, and I thought he was a nice guy. But one day he pushed me that much, I sat on platform 5 at the Richmond station, wanting to jump in front of a train. And I still remember that day, rolling in, and literally a split-second decision that made me decide that I'm still standing today. And but you know, and it's just to get to that point. That was the I just thought, what am I doing? What is wrong with me? There's something not right. And that's when Peter Jess came into my life, and he got me tested, and with a guy called Alan Pearce, who is doing some great work. Obviously, that's why the AFL don't fund him anymore, because he's actually going against the narrative. And then I sort of thought, well, I'm not going stupid after all. I actually have a brain injury, and I didn't think that. And you know, it took another. You know, at that time, I thought, oh yeah, I've been alright, still drinking. Then one day I just didn't want to, once from the same guy that put me in front of a train, I stupidly took him back. And, you know, I decided drinking a whole slab of beer would be a good thing, and I just didn't want to wake up. But unfortunately, to myself at the time, I said, I can't even do that properly, you know, which is the mindset that you're in. And it was the last drink I ever had, and I guess it's enough to put you off. But remember the Carl they brought out Collingwood cans? Collingwood was a slab of them, so that's enough to put it on. Collingwood's supporters here today? Well, we won't be the ones I know, they're previous too, I know, but they deserve it. What's up? Melbourne. I know. Don't even talk that well. Yes. But at that stage, I went to through some good people and made convinced me to go into a mental institution, and that was the best thing I ever did, because it just gave me 3 months away from reality and just work on yourself and talking with people inside was the best method, the best recovery for myself, because you can talk about other people's issues. It wasn't just brain injuries; it was everything. And it it was a defining moment in my life, and I came out of there a different person, and as I said, I haven't had a drink since then, and that's been the big game changer for me, because it gives your brain a rest. If your brain's injured and you're putting alcohol in there, alcohol does damage just not that night.
Do you call yourself an alcoholic today, or alcoholic you call yourself?
No, I was never an alcoholic. I've spoken this about with my psychiatrist, and he said, you're not an alcoholic, because you're just using it as a medicine, as a tool to make yourself feel better. Because I could not drink for days and days and days, and then when I did, I'd make up for those 3 days in one day. I was just a binge drinker, and then it sort of crept into maybe more every day, but it was just more of a coping mechanism. So, and the day, when I was in hospital, my kids came in and they were both beside themselves, and their dad's in basically the loony bin, I called it. And and that vision of both my kids crying their eyes out is something that just keeps me going. If I ever think about having a drink or whatever, that just comes to my mind, and that's me. It was the easiest thing I've ever done. So, what else am I doing to make myself better? These pins aren't working out for me. Obviously, when I came out of hospital, I was on 7 medications, and I felt like a bit of a toxic waste dump at one stage there. And it served its purpose. It really did. It really worked well. But I thought there's got to be a better way than just popping lots of pills. And so I started going down the natural method. And there was a guy I met online, a guy called Jordan Fallis, and he worked on the thyroid, getting that functioning properly to get vitamin B into your brain. And vitamin B is very good for repairing and growth of cells. So I went down that road, and that actually had a huge impact on my recovery. Just made me feel better. And not drinking combined with that was one day I woke up, it was about 16 months after I wasn't drinking. I just woke up and everything just seemed brighter. I don't know if you experienced it, it just seemed, and people go, oh, how does that happen? And you just, well, until you have a brain injury, you don't know. And then, from then on, I've got a cupboard there full of failures, I suppose, just buying stuff online, all different methods and different remedies and all that sort of stuff, and thought, well, if they're only natural, they're not really going to hurt you. So, but I currently, at the moment, I take obviously the vitamin B and iodine and selenium and molybdenum for my thyroid, and that creates good T4, T3 hormones, and then that helps methylate the B12, etc. The Krebs cycle, basically. So you can research. I'm not going to go into that because I can't remember it anyway. So I just take the stuff. And just recently, there's a guy called Brent Alford. He's technically a chiropractor. That's his qualification. I only came across Brent in the last few months, or probably 3-4 months, through PHS. And he hasn't cracked any bones or anything like that. He works on your eyes. And so the first thing he does when he's saying he puts these goggles on your eyes so you're completely blacked out. You can't see anything when this camera's facing your eyes. So your balance is basically your eyes, your ears, and your muscles to try and keep you upright. So what are your eyes going to do when they can't see anything? So that's basically controlled by your brain. So I've seen Paddy McCartan. Who knows Paddy McCartan? Played for Sydney. He's had a lot of head trauma, and he was never not going to play 4 or 5 years ago, and he's been seeing for quite a while. His eyes actually been cross-eyed, completely cross-eyed. It was like a horror show. The eyes are one's this way, one's that way. It was really, really bad. Mine were sitting there gazing forward. They were actually sort of shaking and going back and forth and it's basically saying your brain doesn't know where you are. And well, yeah, it wasn't, it was says, well, it thinks you're here, but it's searching. And through a whole lot of exercises that he does with your eyes, into focus stuff, he really has made a massive difference. Just in the way I feel in my own body as well. Like, the left-hand side of my body was always felt just different. It's a bit tighter and that. And since I've been seeing Brett, it's actually getting better. So I went back to see Brett and probably about 3 weeks ago, and had the vision, and my eyes were almost laser straight. So it's basically saying that your brain, it's resetting your brain to find out where you are, because if it doesn't know where you are, it goes into fight or flight mode, and that's trauma. That's basically confusion. So if you can fix that, it's a starting point. So if you want, you can come and talk to me after. I give you Brett's number and see him, because that's all was about those 1 or 2% that make a massive difference. Because obviously, if you've got a brain injury, it's not going to go away anytime soon. But it's how you deal with it. You can sit at home going, "Oh, poor me," sort of thing. Which there are a lot of AFL players that are. Not that I'm sitting up saying poor me, but they're just doing nothing. They're just accepting what's coming their way. Obviously, looking around here, obviously there's been some traumatic brain injuries, but you're stepping forward and it's the way your life is, and try and make your life better for yourself. And that's what I want to do, because I want to make my life better, not just for me, for the people around me, my kids. My relationship with my kids is so much better, and that's, as a parent, that's number one thing. Obviously, it's a parent's hand here. I try and keep myself in shape. I think I was talking to Nick over there before about, I don't get the old footy players, they finish playing and they turn into Homer Simpson overnight. And I just don't understand that. I played professional footy for 11 years, and then in the VFL, VFA for another 7. And so it's nearly, it's 11 and so 18, 19 years as a professional footballer. That's ingrained in me. And I don't know, I guess you look in the mirror, I don't look in the mirror and see this big Homer Simpson with bald head and a curly hair on it.
Don't know what bald heads, mate.
I'm not saying that.
Are you playing weight, Shaun?
What's that?
Are you playing weight?
I actually am. I'm not playing weight, but I used to have a lot more muscle. It's a bit more pudginess, a bit less little skin there.
Maybe you're older. You're older.
Also, I've set up a little workshop for myself, so neuroplasticity is a big thing for myself. I wasn't a woodworker. I mean, I did some carpentry stuff, but woodworking is at next level, and thank God for YouTube. It's a beautiful thing. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. It's fantastic. And some of the mistakes I made are horrendous, but you just learn, and it's all about learning, and playing guitar. I mean, I've played guitar for a lot of years, but I've never been able to play lead. Now I can put a track on in any key, and I can play lead over the top, which is to me,
Good for it.
but it gives you the endorphin hit, and that's what the brain loves, obviously. And I'm playing baseball. I haven't played baseball for 30-something years from a kid, and so I'm back playing that. Still thinking I'm 15, and the body's not liking it very much. And Pilates as well. Pilates is also good for the soul and for the body, and it's low impact. And if you are a single guy, Pilates is the place to go. I go with my partner, so it's fine. She said the same thing. So I don't want to keep you too much long, but thank you very much for listening, and hopefully you've got something from it, and it's wonderful to see what a beautiful bunch of people. So if you want to talk to me about Brent or something like that, come and chat later, or if you've got any questions at all, please.
Were you eliminated in the elimination final?
Yeah. What was that, sorry?
Were you eliminated?
Yeah, it's probably a game I don't want to talk about too much. Not that I remember it. We lost by 127 points.
Oh.
So yeah, anyway, next.
I have a question.
What was that, sorry?
I have another question.
Yes.
Not to rub it in, but what sort of things did you have to overcome? No, what were the solutions to the problems you had to overcome, such as memory, shaking, any issues you had?
Well, the main thing is having a good attitude to start with. If you sort of have a poor man, I guess I was in that realm for a while. Once you said I'm going to make a change and just go for it, and then just getting good people around you as well. That's the big thing. Right advice. Don't always listen to doctors. I'm not a massive fan of that. There are some great doctors out there, but there are also a lot of ones that just, here's a tablet, go away, sort of things. So, but yeah, I'll just always be researching stuff that can make you better. And yeah, that's...
Can I keep asking? Is this getting...
Cheeky, relax.
Maybe
I
chat
just
afterwards
wanna
and
know, did you find that you had more of necessity to initiate friendships post-injury or pre? Like, did you have problems?
The socialising thing, I was actually pretty good with crowds and meeting people and talking. It was just more just that trigger in my head. If I got upset, it was just off the charts. So don't upset me today. Could end in tears. No, yeah, and obviously friends are very important, and I've learned that, you know, just because you've known someone for 20 years doesn't mean a thing. I've known people for 6 months and they're better friends than most people I've known for 20 years. Whether they've got your back when times are tough, and you know, everyone loves a winner, don't they? Everyone loves a winner. And as soon as things go wrong, that's when I tend to judge people, how they react and treat you. So yeah, it's an ongoing thing, and obviously.
Can I cut in? You're saying you made over for you?
Yeah.
Now, do you have any, I know you're the dad, so you're trying to prevent him from hitting the car, or preventing him from hitting the car. So like, how do you look at it like that?
Well, I'm not talking about Joel at the moment. No, no, it's fine, because he's obviously, I don't know if you saw in the press, obviously Joel Smith is my son, and he was obviously part of a drug test, which was very stupidly. He took some social drugs, but and he's here.
I didn't know that. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
Sure, he's still a kid, you know, he might be in...
Oh, 100%. He hasn't killed anyone. He's made a massive mistake.
But for you being the father, especially like everything that you went through, you trying to say be careful? Or
Oh, they know if they get a whack in the head, I'm stepping straight in. And my daughter actually plays for North Melbourne as well. So try and that upset his mum. It upset her mum pretty badly. One game that she didn't want to, she went and played, and she got a bit of a knock in the head a few years ago, and she came straight off, and that was her done for the day. And the doctors would come up, oh, she's fine. So they're all running around on eggshells around me, which is great. It means they're obviously trying to, they're listening a bit. So yeah, I mean, it's a wonderful game. Don't get me wrong, but in any game you play, there's going to be a concussion. Netball is, not putting netball down, but it's a lower impact. It's a great game. But if you fall over and hit the head on the court, I guarantee the court will win every time. So, but it's how you deal with a concussion at the time, and that's where we're falling over big time. Yep.
What about the American style of wearing protective headgear when they're playing any ball sports? Contact.
Well, headgear does nothing for a concussion. It does like a motorbike rider wears a helmet, not to stop the concussion, to stop basically cracking your head on the ground like an egg. So it protects your skull, it protects fractures and protects lacerations. but the inertia's still going through your head. So wearing these little tiny helmets that we wear nowadays is really a bit of a placebo effect.
Exactly the same question was, yeah.
Oh, same question, yeah.
Deliver your question.
No, well, just one quick thing. Just in terms of players in the AFL that may have brain injuries that have just never, sort of talked about or seen or anything like that. Is there any discussion on that? Like, 10% of players have gone. Yeah.
There's lots. There's so many players out there that are broken.
Yeah.
I know which I won't say who they are, but they had an attempt on their life only 3-4 months ago, which you don't see in the press, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But they're broken men, and the AFL are giving them zero help.
Yeah.
But the PA will pay for for counselling and services, but what they really need is a lot of them are broke. They can't pay for those, so they can't function. They need some financial help and some. The AFL needs some sort of centre that helps these people because it's a specialised. It's not like a knee. You replace your knee overnight, whereas a brain you can't replace that. And there's one guy I think he's well gone. He's not recoverable, and I'm only just waiting for that day where we get the bad news. That's what Peter Jess is fighting for big time. He's really he's pushing. That's why they hate him so much, because the AFL know they've got an issue, but they're not sort of really owning up to it. They sort of are, and they're not. They're putting protocols in. It's more of a tick the box type thing.
I think it would help if they had a better insurance policy.
I was going to hit that as well. Their insurance policy is substandard. It's so bad. Then they wouldn't have to worry about the financial side of things. I had a personal TBD claim for my own super, so I'd actually forgotten about it, to be quite honest, and Pete pulled it up and he said, it was a decent size amount, and that helped me out big time. Money's not going to be the answer. It's obviously money and help and guidance as a whole, everything, but it is a big chunk of it. And the AFL have lots of them paying tax because they're a non-for-profit organisation. Work that out.
Denise, at the back, thanks Denise from Star Victoria. Thanks, Shaun, for telling your story. I had no idea, and you tell it very compellingly and without. But it's actually, I don't want to use the word inspiring because we're not supposed to say that anymore, but because you're not my inspiration porn, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I am curious about your journey into advocacy now, because while we were talking, you can tell from my accent I'm not from here, so my journey to becoming an AFL tragic has been a bit light in life. So I didn't know your career, but I had a look at your Wikipedia page, and there's no mention there about your advocacy that you're doing now. Is that a conscious choice, or is it just you haven't got to it yet?
Oh, that's obviously people at Wikipedia. Obviously don't update it or what, I'm not sure, but
on Wikipedia, obviously the regular brain medicine. It's obviously it's there.
I'll have to get you onto them. In regards to that, I mean, once again, this has all come through Peter Jess, and when I was sitting in hospital feeling sorry for myself, I was only in there for probably 3 weeks, and I was still suicidal. I wasn't feeling well at all, and Peter Jess rang me and says, I want you to do an article for the Herald Sun. There's no way I'm doing that. And then he just went off at me and just said, you've got to do this, you've got to, you've got to, you're going to be the person that we need to tell the AFL that they've had an issue. And to be quite honest with you, it was the best thing that I ever did, because here I was hiding in the room, feeling sorry for myself. All of a sudden, I thought that the article was going to be, a little, 5th page or something, whatever. It was actually bang smack on the front page, 3/4 page, half, article. on the Herald Sun, and one of the nurses came in. She goes, "Oh, have you seen the paper?" I've gone, "Oh shit!" So after that, I couldn't hide. So it was a great thing. It's like, you know, telling your feelings. You know, if you're bottling feelings up, it's 10 times worse. So, and then it's amazing the support that people get. People go, "Oh, I didn't know," and so when they know, they can help. And I guess it's, you know, you just have to keep putting it out there that, yeah, I'm not 100%, so just bear with whatever I'm, you know, not good at, but, you know, I'm trying my best. So if people don't know that, they just think you're an idiot, you know.
It has to be a high percentage of except for people that understand. I mean, obviously when people do brain injury, they understand how a brain injury happens, but 80% of except for people that suffer along the way.
Oh, there will be a lot. And the game, as I keep saying, it's not about the concussion, it's about the treatment after it. And we keep harping on about this with the protocol. A 12-day layoff for from a concussion is substandard. It's actually almost a bit of malpractice in some regards. Now, there's obviously an issue with CTE, which is a form of dementia. With the overseas, the NFL. And the NFL, they come up with over $1 billion, in a fund. Now, I'm not sure. I don't know the NFL too well, but I'm pretty sure they're not a charitable organisation that can give you $1 billion overnight. So there obviously is a massive issue. But American brains are exactly the same as Australian brains. We're all the same species. We just talk differently because of influences when we're living there. So how the AFL are denying that they've got an issue is it's frustrating. And the sooner they do something about it, the better. Otherwise, people just keep guessing and guessing. I'm not here to bag the AFL. I'm just saying they just need to address the issue that's at hand, because there are a lot of people out there that are broken. And Pete's on the phone all the time to the AFL telling them, "Can we help so-and-so? Can we help so-and-so?" Because, you know, they're generally being broke is part of having a brain injury, because impulsive spending, drinking, behaviour, making poor choices, that was me flat out. And we all make poor choices, but these are on steroids. So, but yeah, hopefully the AFL will listen at some stage and come to the party and change the rules as well to help the men who are playing today. Peter McCann's a classic example. He's not even 30 yet, and he's had to give the game away. Kay Kolachesnik's another player, he's 24, had to give the game away. So there's still players at a very young age who've had to give the game away because their brains are damaged. So that's obviously something not right in the game. Don't take the contact out of the game, because that's not the game. But when you have a concussion, you just have to deal with it properly and treat it properly.
Well, clearly the women will be affected as well.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And women are more susceptible to concussions because they don't have a stronger neck, so they get more of a whiplash type thing. That's research that I'm sort of reading. And so once again, we just need to treat it better than we are. I think so.
Just a quick question, sorry, just online. But Nicole Brogan, like to ask you, is there any chance of contacting your latest contact you about people you spoke to or the chiropractor you're talking about? Is there a point for the contact number?
Yeah, contact me and I'll forward on the information I have.
No, thank you.
Yeah, cool. Is that all we've got?
Thanks so much, Shaun. It was really, really interesting to listen to you talking. I was listening so avidly, and I thought I would comment on one tiny detail. As you may pick up from my accent, little bit of an accent, I'm not from Australia, I'm from New Zealand. And when I was 3, living in Wellington, I visited Australia for my distant relations wedding. And where did I go? Canberra. So we had something in common. Besides that, I'd like to give this gift and card to you and thank you very much.
Because of your woodwork background.
Oh, okay.
Shaun Smith.
Now it's time to appoint in the next 2 years. Sorry, that sounds dreadful. The next 2 years, executive committee, the executive committee part of the committee of management are elected for a 2-year term every 2 years, and this year they are up for election again. Would the returning officer like to say something? Or maybe not. Because there were no other nominations, that's exactly the word I was looking for. As you can tell, I've had a brain injury. Sometimes I get lost for words and sometimes they just flew out of me incessantly. There was no need for an election this year. So we have as chairperson, Brent Alford. As vice chairperson, Cole Brokenshirt. As treasurer, Roger Astell. And as the lovely secretary, myself. Can I ask the members if they would like to say a few words? Brent? Roger? No? Okay. So that's all of us, and we will make sure we have a jolly good next 2 years.
Yes.
And you're all invited for the party, because we'll have one every time we meet.
We'll have pizza later, that's a big party.
Promises, promises. Okay, that brings us to the close of the meeting. I hope you all enjoyed it, and bye to Zoom viewers. I hope you could understand my garbled talk. And lunch is served for those here, sorry Zoom, at the back of the room. Thank you all for coming.
Thanks, Nia.
Oh,